Feet up on the dashboard, or driving with a glitchy wheel. Did you forget your passport? We'll buy one at Rashids, get dinner at Forges, a shower at Savage. We'll listen to some nano laws. Take my hand and don't look back, 'cause we're moving on. 'Cause we're moving on.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Season 2, Episode 2 episode. I am your host, Baseballer here, and today we're with guest X Calvin. Now, he has been scheduled to be on the show since Season 1, and we are just getting him on here, so I do apologize for that long time you've been waiting. But it's fine now since we're all here and ready. So how are you doing today, Calvin?
Doing great.
Awesome. Now, for this GLN Let's Talk, uh, we're going to be focusing on DHS mostly. So, what firstly made you pick to be DHS?
Well, I saw they were. I saw. Uh, well, the department was just kind of standing out for me at the moment, and this was all the way back in 2021.
Okay. And you're also the GSS deputy director. GSS, I haven't really heard much of. Has there been any updates with that? New name or anything like that?
Not that I currently know of.
Okay. And for GSS, what made you decide to join GSS?
I saw they had assistant. I saw they had assistant. Oh my god! I saw they had an assistant director of security application open, so I applied, and that's how I became the deputy director of it.
All right. And when did you, just ballpark here, when did you become the GSS deputy director?
Uh, I do not. I am not currently sure.
Okay. And how would you say your best way to manage DHS and GSS, both just hard jobs on their self, by their self, my bad, by their self, but how would you also manage that with your life outside of Greenpoint?
I try to manage them to the best of my capability. Like, I would do some work for DHS and another for GSS when I can. And then once I'm done with both of those, I would do stuff outside of Greenpoint.
Okay. And you when did you join Greenpoint just by itself? And what was your first department you joined?
I first joined Greenpoint back in 2020. I'd say June, maybe May, somewhere around there. The first department I joined was Greenpoint County Sheriff's Office.
All right. And there has been, in the recent big update, there has been a lot of new features added, new buildings, new vehicles. And when you saw it, what was your favorite thing that was added?
Just mostly the map expansion because I was kind of tired of just patrolling around the same area over and over and over. It was getting quite boring where I was close to retiring from my position in Department of Homeland Security.
Okay, and what would you say has been your favorite moment here in the city of Greenpoint?
It's most definitely talking with multiple community members, especially with staff members who I know they try to put their hardest work into the community.
All right, so we will be continuing this interview after our short, um, a short talk from, well, not short talk, our short commercial break, I want to say. So we will continue with guest Kelvin here right after the commercial break.
You can't get a promotion, you won't retire. Despite your best efforts, you refuse to die.
Fuck nigga scared nobody, hey, lil' ain't scared nobody, pull up, boy, cat body, hey, lil' ass nigga ain't body, yeah, I'm popping the beans.
Welcome back from that very short commercial break, and we thank the City of Greenpoint um, department or business or whoever did those commercial breaks. We thank them for putting their time and effort into making them. Now we are back here with Kelvin. So Kelvin, if you're just joining, is the DHS Deputy Director and GSS Deputy Director. So Calvin, within DHS and GSS, how if, for example, the job fair, those two are the same exact day. Would you coordinate with DHS more or GSS more?
Uh, when the when the job when the pre be the host for DHS since Fury was not available at that current time, and Rolo was already hosting that one, so I decided to go for DHS since they clearly needed me at there.
Gotcha. And within Greenpoint, what would you say is your most memorable event that has happened, or just that you want to happen?
Uh, Definitely been to quite a bit of events within Greenpoint, but probably the most memorable I've been a part of was the triple towers collapsing during a fire that happened.
Yeah. I personally remember that one. If I'm correct, that was on the Super Bowl of one of the years, if I'm correct. Um, and yeah, I remember that. That was pretty. That was a pretty good event. Uh, yeah,
I'd say it was pretty coordinated. It went out pretty well.
I would agree with that statement. So you have been in a Discord in Greenpoint for a while now, and also in DHS. And with that, you've had a lot of opportunities. What would you say to people who want to get these opportunities that you've gotten? How would they do that?
I would honestly tell them to try to work their hardest, make sh- make sure they're not doing anything stupid within departments, as I see people do that a lot, which kind of ruins it for them. And just make sure they're trying to stand out to the best of their capability.
All right, and finally, DHS has a lot of subdivisions and divisions, including Homeland Rescue Unit, Homeland Security Investigations, Homeland Warrant Service. I'm sure there's many I didn't name, but what would you say is the most not needed, but the most division with potential in the city of Greenpoint?
Most potential. I've seen a lot of divisions uprise recently, but I feel like, but within DHS, it would be HSI. I've seen them improving a lot within the past week with their new HSI director.
All right. Well, thank you for coming out here for season 2, episode 2 of GLN Let's Talk. This is your host, Baseballer here, and we will see you next time.
Greenpoint local news.